What's up, everyone? We're about to go live. We're just waiting for our notifications to get out into La La Land, and Yanni's getting warmed up for his 60-second muscle up. Ooh, can he do it?
So you want to know how to do a muscle up. Well, today we're going to have a crack at the 60-second muscle up challenge. Legit, I haven't done this for a long time and there's a very high probability that I'll die doing it. We're going to also really dive into a couple of key things that we've come to realize about calisthenics training, and it's not what you think. We're going to debunk a few myths and we're going to answer a big question that a lot of people have been asking us about how much work it requires to maintain strength once you develop it. We're going to dive into that and a lot of other stuff, all that and more coming up right after this. We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
Hey everyone, in case we haven't met, my name's Rad Burmeister, that's my brother Yanni Burmeister. We're the co-creators of Unity Gym, the co-founders of Unity Gym and the co-creators of the Unified Movement System, or UMS, where we turn driven people into superhumans. And the reason we get such astonishing results with our tribe members is that we've created a program that has a balance between strength and flexibility. If you want to know how we do that, you can get the free flexibility blueprint. There's a link in the description of this video. Amazing information. Get your copy now. How you doing, Yanni?
Mate, I'm fucking nervous actually. Yeah, I haven't tried.
Yanni's thrown himself under the bus here. I didn't do any of this. Yanni started boasting about how he can do 60-second muscle-ups, and he hasn't done muscle-ups for 6 months. So the whole purpose of today's show, because we've gone through teaching you guys how to do muscle-ups yesterday and the day before. If you haven't watched those episodes, make sure you do. What we're talking about today really is we're going to talk about how much work do you need to do in order to maintain the strength that you've worked so hard to achieve. And you'd be surprised, it's not nearly as much as what you'd think. Phil told us recently that in some studies they've found that you actually only need to.
Why are you giving this all away at the very start?
Okay, all right. Well,
That's
let's get out. Let's get
That's
out
the
on
hook. We're trying to get you hooked to watch it later.
Let's get out on the gym floor so that
Put me out of my misery.
Yanni can try and do his 60-second muscle up. And
Thank you, Modern Day Viking.
Yeah, thanks Michael P for tuning in. Thanks Modern Day Viking for tuning in. And for everyone that's watching, please hit the like button and leave a comment with your name and where you're watching
Smash up the
from.
like button if you want to see me fail this miserably.
And stay with us.
Smash it up if you want to see me succeed.
Yeah, stay with us because we're going on the gym floor now, and Yanni's going to try a 60-second muscle up.
All right,
so check
let's
this
go.
out. So I've got the mic. I'm going to be talking. Now this is a pissing contest here. It's really just about showing you guys what we can do. No, it's really just about showing you how, hopefully, how Yanni's strength training has, allowed him to still continue to do a really high-level strength skill that he hasn't been working on for a long time. So Yanni's just going to do a basic warm-up first. And the idea of this 60-second muscle-up is that it's going to take Yanni 60 seconds to go from here up to here and then back down again. So it's very, very, very slow. There's no kip, there's no jumping or anything like that. It's a very slow, controlled strength movement. It is very, very hard to do. So
Getting a little bit of
yeah, we want to what you really want to understand is that when it takes a lot of work to develop strength, but it takes very little work to maintain it, a lot less than what you'd think. As long as you do a fraction of the work at a high intensity, so still maintaining the high intensity that's required to maintain the skill or the strength, you don't actually need to do that much in order to maintain it. We're going to talk about exactly how much when we get back into
the types of training that you maintain strength with the best.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Phil, it just dawned on me, maybe when we get back in there, you can help us with this one. Yeah, so we're going to get Phil in the office as well because he's the one that's read the research with this. So chalk your hand up, Yanni. You need to chalk up.
Yeah, I'm just going to do my body positioning. Just explain to them what I'm actually doing here.
Okay, so what Yanni's doing here is he's just doing his body positioning warm up here. So he's just warming up the muscles in his shoulders, elbows and wrists for the different positions that are used in a muscle up. We use this RTO hold here in our upper body warm up for all of our UMS workouts. It's a really, really good way to finish a warm up, and he's just doing a couple of skin the cats here just to warm up his shoulders and get himself ready. Don't be fatiguing yourself, mate. I'm genuinely concerned as to whether or not Yanni's going to be able to do this, but he always surprises me with how strong he is. So we'll let's see.
I had a very bad night's sleep last night. I'm going to put that on the record. And I also should put on the record.
Sorry, you probably can't hear him. Yanni, say that again.
I said I had a very bad night's sleep last night. My kids kept me up all night, so my nervous system's fried. And on top of all that, I'm doing this on an apparatus that is really crap for doing this, which is that I can't...
you can't just hang. It's low enough, but if we go down the back of the gym, the camera will cut out to where we've got the high rings. So, yeah, this is a first for Yanni. We'll see how it goes.
So I kind of have to do a V-sit muscle up for 60 seconds, which works a lot.
Mate, I'd just relax your legs if it was me. Make sure you can film his whole body, Phil. Okay, I'm on the clock, so I'll tell you how long it's been going for.
How did we do this last time?
Well, last time you
10-second.
Yeah, I'll tell you every 10
intervals
seconds.
every
Last
10
time you actually went 60 seconds from the ground up to the top.
Yeah.
But then people online kept saying that's not a 60-second muscle. A 60-second muscle-up challenge is only 30 seconds on the way up and 30 seconds on the way down.
Let's do that.
Of course it's going to be easier, yeah. So he's going to go 30 seconds on the way up, 30 seconds on the way down. Okay, get ready.
You just need to tell me on like 10-second intervals.
I will,
how I'm
okay.
going.
Get ready to start. I'll tell you when you're ready to go. Yeah, you just go actually whenever you're ready. And time starts now, okay, on the 30-second mark. So here we go. So Yanni's on his way up. Okay, do whatever you need with your legs. You don't need to worry about it. That is 10 seconds.
This is so hard.
Okay, here we go. Come on, you can do it. Here we go. 20 seconds. Ah, the bad night's sleep got him. There you go. We're going to need some love here to see if we're going to get Yanni to do this next week when he's had some a good sleep. Where have we got that video of you doing the 60-second muscle up? Because we've got it on. We've got it in our library somewhere. Did we put that on a live video, or did it just go on? Or did it just go on Instagram? Do you remember?
No, we've got it. I've got it on a video somewhere.
Oh, look at that. So we're going to need.
We're going to have to try again.
We're going to need to know from you guys.
Try again.
Do we want Yanni to try this again and see if he can get it live next week?
I think it'll be more spectacular now that I've failed, because people would have thought that it was just so choreographed if I hadn't made it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now you know that when we do this stuff, it's legit.
And it's live.
Yeah, and it is live. There's no pre-recording here. So there you go. That's Yanni not doing a 60-second muscle up.
You know what got me?
Come on, come in the gym.
You know what got me legit though?
What?
Is the positioning.
Yeah, the floor.
Because I can't get into a V-sit transition because I'm already there.
I know, yeah.
So it's really hard to do.
Yep, it sure is. Yeah. So I'm actually now determined to see where this is, so that if any of you actually want to go to our Instagram page, you can see it. So whilst Yanni's talking you through whilst he failed so spectacularly, I'm going to find it.
Hey guys.
Here's Phil. Here's Phil. So let's talk about how much strength is required. How much work is required.
First of all, let's just talk about how amazingly disappointed I am in myself.
Not only do you now weigh less than
that's right. I weigh less than Rad, and I can't do a on-call 60-second muscle up. I'm devastated. I'm genuinely devastated. I told you guys, I think I overthought this beforehand, going, fuck, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this. I'm just going to go get rid of this chalk. So you guys chat for a sec, otherwise I'm going to put chalk everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to find this video because I really, I want you guys to be able to search for it. It is on I know it's on our Instagram page, but yeah, look, anyway, what we wanted to talk about, what a lot of people wanted God, we've got so much stuff on our Instagram page now. What we wanted to talk about is how much work is required to maintain the strength that you've worked hard to achieve. So Phil, you're
It's a super interesting one, and this came up because I was we were having a chat in the gym about this exact topic with Yanni about to go away for a month or so to Europe. So the topic kind of came up, like, you know, how much should you be doing and how much you need to really maintain that strength over time. So this came back when I was doing my exercise and sports science
Looks a bit dark,
degree.
Richie.
Yep. Like years ago, and yeah, in this
Thanks, Michael.
subject,
by the way,
keeping it
real.
They pointed us to a study where they had people training up strength with like a isolated muscle strength. So I think it was bicep curl, 3 sets on 3 days. So 3 days a week, 3 sets, and then so they trained them all up for 12 weeks, and then had a control group that did 0 training after that. Another group that did 1 set each day, and then they had one group. So basically, they had a group that did 1/3 of the training that it took to get to that strength, 1/6 of the training that it took to get to that strength, and 1/9 of the training. So the 1/9 was on 1 day a week. They were doing 1 set at a high intensity, but 1 kind of maximal set. And yeah, basically the study just showed that like pretty much every group stayed about the same, and then except for the group that did nothing, who dropped off. So it really shows that you don't have to do much as long as you're sending that signal to your body that you need it at least once a week, even if it's just one set in this example, then that seems to be sufficient to maintain strength. And so I had a bit of a deeper dive and looked into some other studies that showed that, basically there's like really diminishing returns on if you're training the same muscle group multiple times a week. If you do, 2 sort of, horizontal push-pull days a week, you're not going to get twice as strong. Like it's about getting that basic sort of threshold of stimulus for the week, and then after that, it seems to be diminishing returns. But for those who really want to push to like the absolute limits, then sure, you'll get 5-10% increase in strength if you keep training the same muscle group multiple times a week. But for those who are really looking at how to get efficient training into their week, then just hitting each muscle group with one set or one day a week seems to be plenty.
So for the absolute layman like me out there who was listening to that and getting confused, and it could be because I'm a little bit neurally fatigued from what I just tried to do, are we to say that you just need 10% of what you usually train? Well,
basically the really big thing is, the important thing is consistency. So you still need to do something. If you go away from the gym and you don't do anything for a month or 2 weeks, then you'll lose that strength quite rapidly. But if you just are able to get in something at a high enough intensity, so as if you're doing like a kind of maximal set in the gym, but even just once a week, like one set, that seems to be enough to maintain the muscle strength. And the reason for that is so much of it comes down to your muscle strength comes down to that neural drive. So if you're able to maintain that sort of signal to your body that hey, we really need to keep those, I've talked about the river analogy before, where you're keeping the water flowing down if you have not trained something, you've got a small stream, and if you do it more and more, you'll send more and more water. So basically it seems like if you do that one set a week, it'll keep that water flowing and keeping that neural patterning strong.
So there you go. So it is not nearly as much. And I was really hoping to be able to be talking myself up at this point, and I haven't done muscle ups in so long, and I could still go and do that. It's burning a hole in my soul right now.
But I think it also is quite interesting because you've clearly got a lot of strength as demonstrated yesterday. So you've got all the fundamental strength there, but you haven't trained that movement. Like you haven't trained, your wrists aren't as conditioned because you haven't done a specific, full script training. So the key point of this is you need to keep doing the thing to maintain it, the specific thing to maintain it.
Well, this brings us to
it's
the
not
next
just that.
part
It's not just that. It's you need a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
if you have a bad night's sleep.
Look, I'm actually I want to tell Richard to keep the camera going because I'm going to go out there and have another crack at it at the end of this show as the credits go up, because I just cannot allow myself to fail that miserably. I think
go down the back of the gym on the higher.
I think that the position really threw a spanner in the works because I had to break my usual form, and I know I'm making excuses here, and it sounds terrible.
By the way, I've found the full 60-second muscle up.
Redemption.
Yeah, I've found it where he goes up for 60 seconds, but I don't know how to tell people on Instagram how to easily find it. Like you pretty much just have to scroll until you find it. So
I think I've got the video on my phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a repost so it's at the top of our Instagram page, but for whatever reason, my bloody repost.
So if all else fails, and I still can't do it this next time, then we're just going to cheat and put another video up. There's someone out there looking. Richie, can you jump out?
I'll get up. You guys go.
So I'd like to just put another point on just a few more cool facts in that one. So basically, where this is relevant for people if they're having to take some time off training. So if injury is often a reason why people have to take time off training. So say you have a cast on your right arm and you can only train your left arm. There's actually good research, and we actually did as part of my degree, had to participate in this research where if you trained the other arm, you still got strength benefits and maintained strength in the injured arm because of that neural drive happens bilaterally. So that's something for those who are playing at home. If you've had an injury, keep training the other side. Unless it's like a year-long thing, you won't get that bigger difference between the sides. You'll still maintain strength to that side. And the other thing is imaginary training, which I think is super interesting, that they did lots of studies of people who were bedridden for a month and then had them imagine high-intensity training at set intervals, and they actually maintained better muscle mass and strength over time. So
we actually used to do that, and I used to laugh about it, but when I used to box, we used to do that a lot, where we had to, if we had a fight coming up, we used to have to sit there What?
It worked. Go to our Facebook page and it's the top post.
Oh.
He's just figured out
go to the
Facebook.
Unity Gym Facebook page and the top post will
Redemption.
be Yanni doing a 60-second muscle up.
Redemption.
Even
Okay.
harder than that.
Now back to we used to visualize the entire fight from round 1 to round 3 or round 6 or whatever we were doing, and have to go through everything about how we were going to apply ourselves in that situation as
So that's like an interesting one because that's really useful for skills training. But what I'm talking about here is like people who are lying in bed are able to maintain muscle mass and strength by just imagining it. So that skills element is huge, and I think imagining training is excellent for skills.
Yeah.
But if you go into an intense state of like imagining a high intensity contraction, you actually like can maintain muscle mass and strength. So that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Which is probably another reason why I talked myself out of doing that muscle up before, because I legitimately was sitting there at the computer before just going, fuck, I'm probably not going to be able to do this because I haven't tried it for so long. That's going to be really embarrassing. And then that played out in my mind and I reinforced a negative and then went out and fucked it up.
But what you could take home from this, like what I think is the take home from this is, as long as you do something every week at the highest intensity that you can do it, with a good warm up and everything, so you've got to be safe.
Good form.
As long as you do something every week, you'll maintain your strength.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly right.
Yeah. Now, what we've talked about here brings me into what I really wanted to talk about today, which is the key insight, which is mastering calisthenics doesn't necessarily mean doing calisthenics. And there are a lot of great guys that we've trained with who do very different styles of workout than what you see them display on YouTube. So, you know, when you want to do a certain movement on YouTube, like a really great example for me right now, to make this really practical for you, is that I'm doing a lot of practice on planche, and it's a very hard movement that takes years and years and years to do. And in order to even remotely give yourself a chance of succeeding at the height and the body mass that I am, with quite heavy legs as well, you have to bank a truckload of volume in your workouts. And often that means you're not doing anything that remotely resembles a planche, because to do that, you can't hold your body in the right position. So I'm doing all these really scaled back regressions of the movement to learn. And the same with a lever for me, just with doing a front lever is really, really hard, you know. And so the unfortunate thing about calisthenics is the more strong you are all over the body, like your legs and things like that, it can work against you. Same with height, you're really working against leverage. So the way we keep strong is we keep it really simple. You know, we do a lot of deadlifting, we do a lot of overhead pressing, we do a lot of pull-ups, a lot of chin-ups, a lot of squats, and then we have a few straight arm scapular strength days where we're practicing the straight arm stuff like planches and levers, you know, and hand balancing. And it's really important that people, and I truly believe that it's better to start by learning, just focusing on getting raw strength and flexibility first. I think that's the best place to start.
I agree 100%. I don't particularly like weightlifting. It's not really my thing. It's not what I enjoy doing. I've always liked doing skills, and that's what drew me towards Kung Fu. I loved that Kung Fu wasn't just a way of doing martial arts, but it had some really cool skills involved in it, like jump kicks and things like that. And then when I started wanting to do strength training, you know, so that we could create this business, the only thing that really excited me was calisthenics, was doing bodyweight skills. And I worked hard at trying to get better at it. And Yanni and Richard, who had just done more strength training than me, more weightlifting, they were outperforming me in things that I'd worked way harder than them to be able to develop. And I tried to reinvent the wheel a lot and just didn't get the results that I wanted. And my own personal experience with seeing not just Yanni and Richard, but other friends of ours that have never done calisthenics before, but that are very, very strong people through doing powerlifting and being able to do certain calisthenics skills just straight like that. Without a doubt, at the most basic level, the most important thing is just to be really, really strong and really, really flexible. And the best way to start that journey, in our opinion, is with barbells and dumbbells.
Yeah, I thought you were going to shamefully plug one of our programs then, because it built up to it really well.
But that's what we do in the UMS program. We get people to start with barbells and dumbbells and then move into calisthenics training and stuff. So if you're finding that you're plateauing and you're not being able to go forward with your calisthenics training, like I did, then it's likely that you need to mix up the stimulus and go. It's so much easier to control load and use progressive overload with weightlifting than it is with calisthenics. It's so much easier to control, your reps and sets and things like that. And the other thing as well is that, I don't know if you touched on this, I zoned out a bit with what you were saying, is that it's really hard to get the volume that you need with calisthenics movements, with a lot of them, because people are trying to do these handstand push-ups and things like that, and they're barely being able to do 2 or 3 reps or even 1 rep with good technique. Whereas if you're doing a shoulder press, you can easily manipulate the load so that you can get the volume that you need. And volume is really, really important. You can't expect to just be doing sets of 1 or 2 reps over and over and over again for months and months and months on end and get good at something. You need to bank volume.
Yeah, I think that progressive overload point is so key, because when you are trying to go to that next sort of calisthenic movements, it's generally quite a large skill jump as well for a lot of them. And so if you haven't kind of conditioned your joints for it or conditioned your muscles for it, it's just so much more likely that you'll lose control of the movement, or you'll do something that you're just kind of not ready for, because it's generally quite large changes in the way you actually perform the skill. So by just getting that time, banking that time in progressive overloading with barbells and dumbbells, then you can really condition your joints to a sort of basic level, especially if you're new to strength sports, and then you'll be that much more resilient when you do go and try out these calisthenics movements.
Yeah, and even if you are at a medium, to high level with calisthenics, if you've hit that glass ceiling, it'll be really valuable if you just did a mesocycle where you just focus on weightlifting and just try and get those numbers up, by 5 or 10% or something, and then go back to your calisthenics and watch how it's changed.
We always have this really funny scenario play out with our tribe here, because we do mesocycles where we reinforce just focusing on the basics, and the guys always come out and then go back to their cali skills and just go, fuck me.
Yeah,
I can't believe how much stronger I am at this stuff, and they haven't done it for a whole 6-week block, so
sometimes longer than that.
Now we want to quickly rip through some of these questions, because we've had some great engagement.
Well, first let's look at the people that have said online. So we've got Arsenal Coffee Co. I can't remember what your name is, brother. Can you let us know what your name is? Is saying, if you had to choose just one exercise to build the strength and explosiveness for muscle ups, which would it be? Negatives, explosive pull-ups, different choice. If it was just one, I would do eccentric muscle-ups, where you go from the rings and you go down slowly like that. That would build the muscle-ups, but it's not just one. You can't break it down.
Are we talking about muscle-ups here? Okay, yeah. I would probably do explosive pull-ups, brother, if you could only choose one, but you can't really do that, because I am a huge fan of doing deadlifts for strength all over the body, and it's a pulling movement, so it's going to help that nervous system. But
the better question would be, which would be the one program you'd follow, and it would be the Muscle Up Masterclass program paired in with the UMS program. That's a better question.
Yeah.
So Aidan Potts is saying, found out about you guys a few days ago, watched about 100 of your videos so far, and bought the Loaded Stretch program. You guys produce quality content. Shocked you don't have more subs. Keep it going. Thank you so much, man. That is really nice to hear, and so glad to hear that you've purchased our program. Have you jumped online and joined the UMS Movement Mastermind, which is where you can get free online coaching from us with any of our programs. So make sure you've done that. But thank you so much for that wonderful feedback.
Very nice.
Share it with your friends if you've useful.
Absolutely. Someone's asked here in regards to scapular winging, what are your thoughts on scapular wall push-ups? Brilliant. They're a great regression from floor scapular push-ups. They make it a lot easier. Hi guys, I'm trying to download the Flexibility Blueprint. A couple of people have said that, and it looks like it's working. It works for everyone else, so we're not sure what's going on there. Excellent
Well,
tips.
the first thing that I'll say is, if anybody tries to download our free blueprints and for whatever reason they don't work, I don't understand the internet in the reason as to why you do this, but there's a reason why whenever you call up technical support for anything, the first thing they tell you to do is clear your cache. Try it with a new browser, because there's something to do with caching that can cause things to not work properly. So clear your cache, try it from a different browser. If you're doing it from a phone, try it from a computer. If that still doesn't work, let us know. Send me an email, rad@unitygym.com, and then I will send it directly to you. You won't be going through our automated system, and we'll get it to you.
Satellite McCain, excellent descriptions. This is in regards to how to increase overhead mobility, step-by-step guide, one of our more popular videos. Excellent descriptions. Have had shoulder issues for 2 years now. Have done a lot of these, but obviously not properly. Having the details with good targeted visuals will change things greatly. Thank you very much for the shout out, brother. Adam Saeed Sultan, excellent excellent tips. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of love here. Thank you. We love your love. I will get around to answering all of those properly in writing. Now,
you know what? I just thought of this. We have so many people saying, I'm shocked that you guys don't have more subscribers. Share our channel, share our videos to your friends so we get more subscribers. We'd love more subscribers. So
absolutely.
we want to get it out there.
We're
so
on a
share
mission
our
to get
stuff.
up to 15,000 by the end of December. Now, I want to go out and have one more crack at this. Is the video camera still rolling?
Yeah.
Can you get it rolling?
Yep.
I just want to have a crack.
Okay, we're going to have, this is going to be the end of the show. Yanni's
Yeah.
going to have one more crack. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see Yanni make this muscle up here, send him some love, send him some positive vibes. We're going to go out and give it a try now. He's going to go down the back of the gym. So unfortunately, you won't be able to see him from very close, but you're going to try it here again? Okay, he's going to try here. You know what? In all honesty, Yanni, you could probably raise the rings higher than that. Because you're doing it slow, you won't bang your head. You'll just be in front of it. Do you want to do it? Do you want me to raise the rings a bit? No?
We can zoom on here so you can see it pretty well.
Do you want to go down the back? No? He's just going to do it here. Here we go. All right. You just start in your own time. Take your time. And here we go. So time start now. He's even swinging. Oh. All right. And we're up to 10 seconds. Oh. Go! Oh, he's got it! Come on, he can do it! You're already up to... No, man, you lost it on that side. He made it over. That was 20 seconds there. You can see it's right there. Guys, if you want to see it, I've already shared it to the Facebook group. If you want to see Yanni do a 60-second muscle up, he's spewing.
I actually failed in the wrist that time.
Yeah, he's very upset. I don't know if you can hear him swearing or not, but if you have a look, go to the Unity Gym Facebook page, and it's the top post. It's the most recent post. You'll see Yanni do a 60-second. And if you want to see him do it live next week, let us know. Leave some comments, and maybe he can have another crack at it. Yeah, I'm seeing it. We've got a delay here. I can see it was that arm that was failing. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning.
Totally failed.
Yeah.
On that arm.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend.
Health is about performance, not just body image.
You better be willing to accept what you're going to have to do to get there.
We'll start focusing on movement goals, strength goals, flexibility goals.
When you nail that skill, it's there forever.
The body image goal doesn't get you that
It's
far.
the consistency and frequency that's going to get you there. It's not the intensity.
There's no shortcuts to mastery and movement. Destination doesn't change overnight, but your direction will.
The gym is not the place to beat up the body that you hate. It's the place to build the body that you love.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.